My entire life I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons. A D20 has always been a symbol that means opportunity for me. I have one tattooed on my arm. We played as a family and I played with my friends and always introduced new friends to it as well. When I was 15 we moved away. Same old story, dad got transferred, you know how it goes. I continued to play with my family, but I also began carrying my dice with me to school and wherever else I went. I would pull out my trusty D20 for any decision I had to make. I read a wrinkle in time. I present the die with an event possibility. Then I roll the die, it comes up 4. I decide not to read it. I read the House of the Scorpion. It comes up 18. That is a definite must read. And you know what? The book was fucking great. I go see The Maze Runner in theaters. It comes up 11. It could go either way, but most of the time I wait for the options that roll a 16 or higher. I swear to God it never fails. Which subject do I do my report on? It always turns out best. I had been in my new school for a few months, and I had hardly made any friends, but there was this boy in my drama class. He was cute and smart and fun. All of the things, really. We were sort of friends, I suppose you could say. I asked him to come over after school. It came up 15. Close enough. So I did, and he agreed. I was ecstatic. I still had another class before school was over, and in class, I presented some other possibilities. We play video games. It came up 16. We watch a scary movie. It came up 19. Perfect, I thought. I can play scared and maybe he will hold me. I kiss him. It came up 1. After school we walked to my house. We played video games in the basement. It was great. We followed it with watching a horror movie, which turned out exactly as I had hoped. He was getting closer to me. He was practically nuzzling my neck. His breath had my heart beating. In Dungeons and Dragons, we have this thing we call a critical failure. It means that when you roll a 1, whatever you're doing goes completely and horribly awry. Alternatively, some have a rule that is, if you roll a 20, everything goes perfectly, or perhaps better than perfect. As I turned to face him, his eyes grew wide and he pushed back away from me. He collapsed to his hands and knees on the floor. He softly said, "Help," before he choked and vomited up more blood than I had ever seen before. I stared in horror as he looked back up at me, with blood dripping from his eyes. I screamed for my parents. He died on my floor that day. I was taken to the hospital for tests to make sure I hadn't caught whatever he had. I'm not sure they even knew what he suffered from. I did. I never acted on a 1 again.